Well, this was a momentous day, and many decisions had to be made even before coming here today. The first and most important was what to wear. I could dress like Ingersoll, but I'm not a man. I could dress as a woman of his era, and was tempted to, and then thought, but wait, not only were women fettered mentally and legally, but they were fettered by their clothing. And I did not wish to dishonor Mr. Ingersoll by dressing in a fettered manner. And so I chose the most comfortable thing I could find. That decision having been reached, the next one was what to read. And after reading many of his wonderful words, I decided on this particular thing, a letter, I assume, written to Charles Watts, who was the editor of a journal called Secular Thought from 1887 to 1911. And the title of this is How to Edit a Liberal Paper. A liberal paper should be edited by a liberal man. And by the word liberal, I mean not only free, not only one who thinks for himself, not only one who has escaped from the prisons and customs of creed, but one who is candid, intelligent, and kind. That is to say, liberal towards others. This liberal editor should not forever play upon one string, no matter how wonderful the music. He should not have his attention forever fixed upon one question. That is to say, he should not look through a reversed telescope and narrow his horizons to that degree that he sees only one thing. To know that the Bible is the literature of a barbarous people, to know that it is uninspired, to be certain that the supernatural does not and cannot exist, all this is but the beginning of wisdom. This only lays the foundation for unprejudiced observation. A liberal paper should not discuss theological questions alone. Intelligent people everywhere have given up most of the old superstitions. They have pretty well made up their minds what is false, and they want to know something that is true. For this reason, a liberal paper should keep abreast of the discoveries of the human mind. No science should be neglected, no fact overlooked. Inventions should be described and understood. And not only this, but the beautiful in thought, in form, and in color should be preserved. The paper should be filled with things calculated to interest the thoughtful, intelligent, and serious people. There should be a column for men and children and women as well. Above all, it should be perfectly kind and candid. In discussion, there is no place for hatred. A personality is always out of place. An angry man can neither reason for himself nor perceive the reason of another person. The orthodox world has always dealt in personalities. Every minister can answer the argument of an opponent by attacking the character of the opponent. This example should never be followed by a liberal man. Nobody can ever be bad enough to prove that the Bible is uninspired, and nobody can be good enough to prove that it is the Word of God. These facts have no relation. They neither stand nor fall together. Nothing should be asserted that is not known. Nothing should be denied, the falsity of which has not been and cannot be demonstrated. Opinions are simply given for what they are worth. They are guesses, and one guesser should give to another guesser all the rights of guessing that he claimed for himself. Upon the great question of origin, of destiny, of immortality, of punishment and reward in other worlds, every honest man must say, I do not know. Upon these questions, this is the creed of intelligence. Nothing is harder to bear than the egotism of ignorance and the arrogance of superstition. The man who has some knowledge of the difficulties surrounding these subjects who knows something of the limitations of the human mind must, of necessity, be mentally modest. And the condition of mental modesty is the only one consistent with individual progress. Above all and over all, a liberal paper should teach the absolute freedom of the mind, the utter independence of the individual, the perfect liberty of speech. We should remember that the world is as it must be. The present is the necessary offspring of the past. The future must be what the present makes it, and that the real work of the reformer, of the philanthropist, is to change the conditions of the present to the end that the future may be better. The end.